Getting that connection from the paddock and then to the people, being able to see them and create some joy and benefit and good health and feelings of well-being is what gets me up every day and keeps me excited to keep doing what we do.
This is The Producers. I'm Dani Valent. If you eat Australian-grown pumpkin seeds, you can be sure they're from Pepo Farms, a unique farming and production business based in northern Victoria. For owner Sharan West Rivett, Pepo's mission isn't just growing and selling a product, but also advocating for its health benefits and culinary potential, and enriching the land which makes it all possible.
So, hello, my name is Sharan West Rivett. I'm the owner of Pepo Farms, and we are producers of pumpkin seeds and also fine artisan oils and flowers as well. So we're located in the Alpine region of Victoria, so in the beautiful mountains, lovely green area. We have a number of bases actually, so there's kind of actually a number of farms. Our main farm, which is our shop front and also where we do a lot of our production of everything, is on the Great Alpine Road, so nice and easy to access for everybody. And coming to our farm shop, it's actually our visitor experience education centre, we like to call it, because it is where we're able to talk to people and they can experience as much as they can of what we do. So we like growing a lot of things. So we've got some nice gardens with lovely foods and things as you enter on in. And then coming into the shop, you're generally greeted or all the time greeted with one of our wonderful team members that are always welcoming people into the front shop, and they're ready to tell people and give them an experience in telling them about what we do, what they can taste, what they can see, and show them about all the products that we have available on offer.
Sharan grew up with an awareness of pumpkin seed oil through occasional hand-to-hand deliveries from Europe. It wasn't until she took a family trip back to the motherland that she started to see its potential.
So my dad was from Slovenia, and that's where pumpkin seed oil originates, from Slovenia and also Austria. And so he grew up on a farm where his parents were growing pumpkin seeds, and he would actually take the pumpkin seeds via horse and cart down to the local oil mill, and they would press the pumpkin seed oil for them, and then that's what they would use throughout the year. So that's how he grew up, and how I then came to learn and know about pumpkin seed oil. When I was very young, my uncle came over to visit, and he brought some litres of pumpkin seed oil, and that's what Mum used for a short time, I suppose, quite sparingly. We had it, so we'd have on occasional special occasions salads with pumpkin seed oil on them, and he didn't visit for after that. So what we had when I was younger was sort of pretty much about it until I had grown up, and we took a family holiday over to Slovenia, and we got to get a lot more.
As with so many enterprises, Sharan initially thought small. As she learnt more, the nature of the seeds, and especially the way the oil is produced, caused Sharan and her husband Jay to think bigger. Well,
the business started because we wanted pretty much some pumpkin seed oil for ourselves, and also I'd heard it was very good for men with prostate problems. So being as a good health benefit, I thought, well, we can make some oil for us and make some oil for them as well. And it was just going to be a small scale thing, but after actually trying to press the oil and finding that it's not easy, it's not something that you can really do on a small scale, we then saw it as a really good business opportunity, and the company was born so that we could, produce more of it for a lot more people, and be able to start something really good. But it wasn't until my husband and I actually went back and visited, when was that? 2014, I think. And we actually went and travelled and went to about 30 different oil mills while we were over there, so that we could learn and experience the traditional pressing, to seeing what they were doing, which was exactly actually what we were doing anyway, from what Dad had learnt and brought back, and which he obviously trained me then. And so, my husband Jay and I, we went to Slovenia and travelled to all these different mills and picked up little bits and pieces with the equipment and things that they did. But really just learning and seeing the connection of them, and also cementing, I suppose, what we were doing was exactly the same in following the traditions from Slovenia, in working with our local community and pressing the pumpkin seed oil, and then also lots of other seeds and nuts in this traditional way that's been done for centuries, which just produces a fantastic, amazing, beautiful quality of oil with its wonderful, really strong flavours and lots of nutritional value as well.
Pepo is unique in Australia, being the only local producer of pumpkin seeds. Being a pioneer has its challenges, but it's also satisfying and exciting.
Still, after we just celebrated our 20-year birthday, after 20 years, we're still the only commercial producer of pumpkin seeds for eating here in Australia. And people often, they ask me, well, why is that? And, well, I say because it's not an easy thing to do, as well as setting up a new farming industry here in Australia. We're having to learn everything because there is no support mechanisms for growing this type of pumpkin or for producing just pumpkin seeds. So it's quite different because we're not growing just a pumpkin for a good pumpkin flesh. We're having to produce the seeds, which takes a bit longer, and also because of the unique variety of seed that we are producing. They're not regular pumpkin seeds, and so it takes certainly a lot more in learning how the actual plant grows, and then the production of the seed is just a completely different thing to learn from actual pumpkin growing. When we first started 20 years ago, a lot of people hadn't heard about eating pumpkin seeds, not in your general population. People visiting some health food stores, they may have known about them, but generally then they were known of calling them pepitas, which was actually and still is today, the Chinese imported product. And so that's what people had known about. And so when we first were taking our pumpkin seeds, people were sort of like, what, you can actually eat pumpkin seeds? Since then, a lot of things have certainly happened. There's a lot more pumpkin seeds added to breads and things, in mueslis, and people are certainly much more aware that they're actually a really good seed to eat. So for us now, we can say, well, you can have a Chinese imported product or you can have an Australian grown product.
Plenty of pumpkins are grown in Australia, but the type that is harvested for its seeds is quite different. The flesh, frankly, tastes pretty bad, and the harvesting process is quite particular, with an eye not only to seed production, but also the soil that nurtures it.
So it's an old heirloom variety of pumpkin, so they don't produce a husk on the seed like all of your other regular pumpkins do. So it makes them certainly much harder to grow with planting them in the ground. A lot of things like to eat them. They're a very good high quality seed, rich in protein and rich in the oils and minerals, obviously, that we then like to enjoy as well. So being an old heirloom variety, a little bit different to your traditional pumpkins. They grow starting out green and then they develop these lovely orange stripes on them. And the flesh itself is actually very watery, so we don't eat it. It's not the nicest tasting. I've tried it quite a few times in trying to do something with it, but because it is mostly water, it's just certainly not something that's good to eat. But the seeds that it produces is, second to none. They're fantastic to eat. They're tasty. They're nutty. They're nice and big and dark green. So you really feel that you're getting a lot of substance when you do eat them, which yes, is obviously why people do eat them and enjoy having them. There's such a great protein source, and the oils in them as well have many health benefits too. And there's a wealth of minerals in them as well. So like a lot of seeds and nuts, they're just so nutritionally dense, and that's what keeps people coming back to them again and again. The process to getting the seeds out of the pumpkins is using a harvesting machine. They're specially designed and built because there is a very large industry in Austria and Slovenia. And so we have one of those machines which actually picks up the pumpkins in the paddock. It crushes them and then the seeds are basically sieved out of the pumpkin with this big rotating drum, and all the flesh then drops out the back, and the seeds are collected in a compartment on the side of the harvesting machine. So it certainly does it very quickly and easily, better than doing it by hand, which is how we first started. But then we're able to take those seeds. They then are taken to a shed where they're washed and they're dried, and just warm air dried, and then they're ready to store, and then later on to be processed into the different flavours of seeds that we do, or into the oil. They're one of the big things that we do, and the reason the pumpkin, because we can't eat it, it stays there in the paddock and goes back into the soil, so adds some more organic matter to the soil. So a big part of our processes with our farming methods is actually to put back into the soil and increase the organic matter in there. It creates a farm that's going to be sustainable into the future. You can't just keep taking from the soil. You have to give it back.
Pepo produces seeds, flowers and oils from their pumpkins. The oil has many culinary uses, but plenty of people consume it with health benefits in mind.
Like a lot of seeds and nuts, the pumpkin seeds certainly have a lot of protein in them, about 35% from the actual seed. The oil is one that works on the urinary tract and reproductive area of the body. So I did mention prostate health previously, and that is a big one that we have. Lots of men, if they're having prostate enlargement issues, often they'll be having to get up to go to the bathroom multiple times during the night. They find that taking the pumpkin seed oil, often they can get a full night's sleep. So there's many different studies where this has happened through medical channels and things, and they find that it can, in a lot of cases, reduce the size of the prostate, normalise a lot of the hormone levels, and then obviously the added benefit of not having to get up to go to the bathroom. So helps women as well, so working on the urinary tract area in a similar sort of way, and the oil is the key to that. Eating the seeds, you do get some benefit from it, but when there is an issue, the oil certainly is the one that gives people the most benefit. I believe it's because it's working on the hormone levels, and as our bodies produce hormones from fats, if people aren't getting the right fats or good quality fats in their diet, then their bodies aren't able to produce the hormones for doing what hormones do, lots of things in our bodies. And so it's a really important thing in getting the variety of fats to allow your body to be able to do that production.
Pumpkin seed oil surprises with its colour, flavour, nutritional properties and endless culinary uses. What are some of the ways it can be enjoyed?
The pumpkin seed oil is generally a big surprise to everybody because it is very dark green. It almost looks black when you pour it out onto a dish or onto a spoon. And surprisingly, people they're sort of like, oh wow, it's got a lovely nutty flavour. And yes, it does. All of the oils that we produce majority are from nuts, so they do have a nutty flavour, and the pressing method that we use really brings out that flavour of the seeds or nuts, and then the oils that we press. It's an old method which is done all naturally and maintains all of the good nutritional value as well. So people can add these oils to so many different types of dishes and culinary uses. Starting, obviously, people know of oils generally as for salad dressings, where you can do a simple oil and vinegar dressing, or you can do other things, adding fruits and avocado and obviously a lot of other different things to a dressing as well with herbs and spices. And further from that, and that's one thing that a lot of people learn when they come to our educational centre, is the many uses for oil. So going past just a simple salad dressing or past the frying pan, with using our oils, because they have such great flavours to them, you can use them in all sorts of dressings, or just simply drizzling over foods or into different meals and dishes, and the flavours can really come out. So putting them to baked goods and pastas in them, or drizzling on top as well, using them as a dipping oil. everybody loves the olive oil as a dipping oil, and that's been celebrated a lot, but people don't realise that they can actually dip with other oils, and it is just such a nice change when going from olive oil and keeping that in the mix, but just changing it occasionally and having different nutty oils and really experiencing the different flavours that they can produce.
Showing the inner workings of seed and oil production is a big part of customer outreach at Pepo Farms. Educating the public about these unusual products is a key part of the company's success.
So in the shop, we like to be open. We promote being sustainable and traceable, and so one of the ways that we do that is actually to let people see what we do. So our shop is open to our processing area where we press our oils and make our flours, and where all the orders are produced and sent out, and where all of our products are packaged as well. So people can see everybody working away hard in the factory and processing area. So one of the big things for people and a highlight is being able to see our press, which my dad built and was actually based on the presses that they use in Slovenia for pressing artisan oils. So they're in a lot of the community villages all around Slovenia and also Austria, and people are actually able to see that and see it in action when it's pressing oil. With our 20-year anniversary, people saying, "Yep, I love your products. Keep up the good work." Constantly doing that, saying, "I get such great health benefits from this." We've got a customer who's been taking our oil probably for almost for 19 of those 20 years, I think, and still a customer today, and saying that the difference and the impact it's had on his life has just been phenomenal, and always gives me goosebumps when he tells his story of not being able to do things, not being able to sleep during the night, and then being able to get a full night's sleep, and he can now go travelling with his wife again, which he wasn't able to do. People have just been really excited. They're putting messages up. Yep, we were there at Christmas and we were getting Christmas presents for everybody, and we're definitely going to come back because we just had such a wonderful experience meeting the team and trialling and tasting all the products and things. So it's very heartwarming with all the congratulations we've been getting and all the wonderful, lovely messages. We constantly get customers, they might say, "Oh, I use it like this or use it like that," and we sometimes think, "Oh yeah, we haven't thought of that," or haven't tried it like that. So it certainly is, and that's one thing with people coming into our education centre is that they don't just visit once. They often come back. If they're coming back to the area, then they'll come in and stock up on more products, and so we're able to reconnect with them again, and yes, they then tell us all the things that they've been doing and how they've been using things, and anything new that's come along, they're always interested to find out and see what we've got. It's a really nice experience to have with them.
Farming always has challenges and curveballs. How does the Pepo team face tricky situations and use them as opportunities to learn, grow and forge on?
Oh, some of the biggest challenges. Oh, there's been, I suppose, quite a few. In recent times, obviously, the bushfires, that certainly had a big impact on our business. COVID and things has raised a lot of challenges in how to actually work and do business. Very luckily, I have a great team of people around me, and everybody pulled together and came up with all sorts of ideas and things in how we can change and evolve and continue on through these difficult times. So it's led us to a lot of solutions, which we're definitely a solutions-based business. Whenever something arises, we go, okay, yep, well, that is the situation, and what can we do to work with it or work around it or come up with different options that we can do. So we look at all avenues that we can to help with any challenges that come along. With the growing team of people now, I have a lot of experience from different areas that we can draw upon as well. So yeah, using the abilities of the team is one of the key ways that we get through the challenges.
Sharan and the Pepo Farms team do everything from soil prep to planting, harvesting to processing, and selling direct to customers. What does Sharan love about what she does?
I get really excited about watching things grow and seeing the different seasons happening, and then also seeing getting the feedback from customers in their health experiences that they get from it. So I know that what we're growing and producing from the soil, which is just find it a soul-soothing exercise, I suppose, in watching things grow and having the dirt under my feet. I can getting that connection from the paddock and then to the people, being able to see them and create some joy and benefit and good health and feelings of well-being is what gets me up every day and keeps me excited to keep doing what we do.
After 20 years of farming, Sharan West Rivett and Pepo Farms can celebrate not only the success of their family company, but the fact that more Australians are learning to appreciate and enjoy pumpkin seeds and pumpkin seed oil, not only for its flavour, but also for the way it makes them feel. This is The Producers, a Deep in the Weeds production. I'm Dani Valent. Stay tuned as we talk to some of Australia's best farmers, makers and growers. Follow us on Instagram at Producers Podcast or contact us via deepintheweeds.com.au.